Welcome to the American Library Association's annual conference in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. I'm Burke Allen in the Headline Books and Zoom into Books podcast pavilion, and we've got a brand new author joining us. Julie Simmons from San Antonio has flown into Pennsylvania to tell us all about your first novel, The Lost Canvas. All right, this is your first book. Why the change, and how did you decide, this is what I want to do? I want to be an author.
Well, I decided that when I was really young. I was very young, just a little child.
And then life got in the way, huh?
It does, because how are you going to make money being an author?
That's right.
Right?
The lemonade stand will pay the bills. And then, what did you do for a career?
Well, I started out as an educator, and I ended up teaching everything from kindergarten to college. And then I did consulting work, and that landed me into contract work for the Department of Defense. So I was running around doing lots of contract work and writing all the time along the way. So
just for fun?
For fun, mostly for fun. And then, I taught university level, and
Well, as a former educator, how important do you think reading is in today's world? It's everything, right?
It's everything. And reading and writing are two sides of the coin. And I think, we have social media and the scroll, and that's sort of going away with youth, being able to write well, and you have to do that.
I wonder if you have a thought as a former educator on how to get kids engaged in reading so that they become adult readers and they'll read your novel. How do you get them interested in the time of the scroll and the time of TikTok and the time of video games?
I think that has got to be, when you're in the classroom today, the biggest challenge. Our attention spans have gotten much shorter because of the scroll. So I think that teachers are out there, trying to find good children's picture books and doing, the read alouds, and I think it's a challenge. I don't know the answer.
Are you still a voracious reader? You're a writer. Do you still read a lot?
I do. Yeah. I still read. I still try, but I also write a newspaper column in our town, so I do that once a week for fun. I love writing.
Well, since you love writing, you've released a book. Tell us about it. Tell me all about The Lost Canvas.
Well, it is about a young girl named Katie, and she is an art curator at the St. Anthony Hotel in San Antonio. And she comes across a painting that captures her. She has to have it. So she sets out on a journey to find the provenance. And along her way, she meets a man named Alex Dyer, and he is a viticulturist.
A what?
A viticulturist.
What is that?
A vita what? Yeah. It is an expert in the growing of wine grapes.
I see.
And so she comes across him, and the whole journey leads her from San Antonio to the high plains of Texas to the East Coast, and then to Tuscany.
Now, many times authors who write fiction incorporate what they know. John Grisham writes legal thrillers. How much of you is in Katie, and how much of where you live in Texas is in this book?
So there is a lot. There's a lot of Texas in the book, but it's not autobiographical. But I just think that as an author, a writer, you're going to land on the pages. Your life lands there. So.
Are you a wine person?
Yes, I am working on my level 2 sommelier right now.
What?
I am.
You are a wine person.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't then though. I think the writing of this, and I did include. There's a lot of wine included in the book. Of course, we've got the viticulturist, but I think that's what inspired me to do it, because I wanted to know more.
So this was a learning process for you. So now you know way more about wine than you did when you started writing it.
I know, then when I started writing it, right? And so, I sort of wish I would have known more then, but it's okay.
It would be great to get the book into lots of vineyards. I live in Northern Virginia, and there are vineyards everywhere. this sounds like it would be a great book for vineyards itself.
I have done that, and do you know that the Texas Hill Country
Yeah?
and the High Plains near Lubbock is second to Napa and the growing of grapes?
I did not know that.
Yes, and so like right outside of San Antonio, not far, maybe the next time you come out to San Antonio, I will take you to some of the vineyards. And I have done different events and presentations out at vineyards near our house.
And when you say you do presentations, is it about the book itself?
Yeah, so what I started doing initially is I would take the book and I was bouncing off of a sommelier, and we had a little presentation that we would do, and we would offer ticketed events. I also have a wine journal that I published, and we would do a ticket for the book and a journal and a flight of wines, different wines that were mentioned in the novel. And so people love that.
For someone that doesn't know a lot about wines, it's a huge culture. It's $1 billion industry. Where do you start? Because it can be very intimidating. You know, if you go, I just like what I like, and I don't know all the things. Where do you start?
You start by drinking it, and you drink more. You drink more, and then you learn what you like. And everybody's taste is a little bit different. It's kind of interesting, like men and women, even sommeliers will tell you, well, this is more of a man wine, and this is more of a woman wine, because it's just our,
Do you buy into that?
Do I buy into it? Maybe I do. I do to a certain degree, but everybody has different tastes. Now I do know also when people first start drinking wine, they want it to be sweet a lot of times. Right? They want to drink more sweet white wines, and then the more mature your palate gets, you're going to want the red, dry, nicer wine.
And so it really is an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste.
In the literal sense. All right, so tell me what happens outside beautiful hill country and vineyards in this book.
Well, so our character, she's on her search for the artist. And
Katie is on the hunt.
Katie's on the hunt. She's searching for the artist, and so she goes place after place after place until she eventually finds the artist. And the book also is in an alternating timeline.
Okay.
So we're learning about the artist's life as a young woman, and then we come to the present with Katie until finally they converge. Without giving too much away.
Real life we want you to give it all away. Real life inspiration for this whole thing?
There actually was. I had mentioned that. I think that before we started the interview, that my future husband was in the military. He was a helicopter pilot.
Yep.
So when I was doing contract work, I met him when I was doing jobs out in the Pacific Rim. We crossed paths several times, and then finally we started spending more time together. But and we had years of these far-flung adventures, and amongst those adventures, and in between those, he had multiple combat deployments, which are not fun at all.
Sure.
They're
for him or you.
No, they're emotional, and you're holding your breath the whole time. So he was on his last deployment, and he was coming back for leave from Afghanistan. And at this point, I had moved back to Texas, from Hawaii to Texas, and I said, we were going to go take a whole weekend in San Antonio. We're going to check into a hotel, we're going to do the things, and we're going to drink the margaritas and relax and reset. And so we were going around downtown San Antonio, and we went and found this estate gallery where we came across this painting. And I saw it hanging, and it was bold and mid-century, and I had to have it. So I got it, we took it back to the hotel, and the backing was ripping away. So I go ahead and I pull it off, and there was an inscription, and it said, "Exordium, my dearest Benjamin." Do you speak French?
I do not.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to, because there was a phrase in French that I don't want to butcher here, but it's plus qu'hier, moi de demain, which means more today, but less than tomorrow.
I see.
And love, Mary Renata. So now I'm like, okay, we have to find out who this is.
Got to do some sleuthing.
So I did. Ancestry.com, all the things, church records. I find the woman. She was 90 years old in a nursing home in Ohio. And I found her through a niece of hers. And we did some communication. She said that her Aunt Mary was like not doing well. But I said, do you think that I could come see her? I want to bring this painting. I want to know, how did the painting get from Ohio to San Antonio? And she said, I have no idea. But she did tell me that her Aunt Mary was the youngest of 4 children, the daughter of, she was the daughter of Italian immigrants. And she was very creative. They sent her to Juilliard. She lived in New York for a time. She lived in Europe for a time, but she had this great love, never married, didn't work out. That's all I knew. Well, Mary Renata died, and I did not get to go up there within weeks of me finding her. And I didn't get to know the rest of the story, so I decided I'm going to write this, and that's where the fictionalized part come in. The alternating timeline, what I imagine Mary Renata's life to have been.
What an amazing genesis for your book, though. Mm-hmm. What a great story.
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder you had to write it. The
I
Lost
had to.
Canvas.
I had to.
Hey, hold that book up so we can see it.
That's it.
Very good. Paris Book Festival. Honorable mention. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We should go to Gay Paris and celebrate. Oui, oui. Hey, congratulations on the first book.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
There she is, brand new author, in the thick of things at the American Library Association Conference in the Headline Books, Zoom Into Books booth.
Thank
Julie
you,
Simmons, great to meet you.
Thank you.